Welcome to my palm garden, guys. This is just a video dedicated to this topic and this garden. We're going to be explaining where these palms are and what they're like, like, how to take care of them. Okay, now let's get started with the sable miner. This is the sable miner, also known as dwarf palmetto. These guys do not grow that high. Their max height, I would say, is just like the washi right here, like the Washingtonia, like as high as this. This is their max height, probably like a couple feet, like 6 feet maybe, or no, maybe a little less, like 5 feet, 4 feet, around there. And this is the ponytail palm. Oh yeah, by the way, these are really cold hardy palms. This is like the cold hardiest palm in this whole garden, except for the other sable, their other kind of sable. But this is like the cold hardiest palm in the garden, in this area of the garden, I would say. And this is the ponytail palm. These guys are not cold hardy at all. They will die in the freeze or cold anything, most likely. And it looks beautiful, and you can tell why they call it a ponytail palm. It doesn't really look like a palm, but it looks like a ponytail. And apparently it's considered a palm. Well, I don't know if it's considered a palm, but people just think it's a palm. It doesn't really look like it, but apparently that's its name. So, and next to it, we got, I would say, semi-hardy Washingtonia Robusta, also known as the Mexican fan palm. These are really common everywhere. And they are not the hardiest. People say they are very hardy. I would say I agree and disagree with that, because these guys, they overestimate them. These guys are not the hardiest out of the hardiest compared to other palms. These guys will die in a freeze. Like, it's not like they will survive, especially the high ones. If you have one of those that are like 10 feet or maybe like 15 to 20 feet, those will die, because the higher they are, the more exposed to the cold they are. These lower ones may stay a chance, but when they start getting higher, then they will definitely pass out, unless if you have some ultimate protection. And same with the queen palm. This queen palm, people are always saying that they're cold hardy and stuff. These guys are not. These are even worse than the Washingtonias. But again, these add a beautiful tropical collection and tropical vibe to the garden. That's why I love it. This Washingtonia is probably one of my favorites in the garden too. I love this guy. I totally would recommend this guy, as long as it's not too cold in your area, so you wouldn't have to replacing it every year. But he does have some hardiness compared to the queen palm. The queen palm doesn't have much hardiness to it. This guy's pushing out a new spear, just like the Washingtonia is. Again, these are not as cold hardy as the Washingtonia, but they are still a very beautiful palm, and they won't survive a big cold, but they could survive like a regular winter, because that one has survived the regular winter before. So yeah, and it's beautiful too. As you can tell, it's a little trimmed up because I trimmed it up. Too much leaves coming out here. I need the trunk to get bigger and higher, so the leaves don't like come out like that. Here we got a pygmy date palm. This one is not cold hardy at all either. And again, if you guys are wondering why I picked a set of palms that are not really that cold hardy, it's just to make it a tropical look. Because normally the cold hardy palms are the not cold hardy palms. Like the regular palms are probably the best. They give the most tropical look in the garden. And this is not cold hardy at all, or maybe a little, but not as much as the Washingtonia. I still think the Washingtonia is the cold hardiest out of like the cold hardiest out of these three. This date palm can survive a cold, but not a freeze. It's beautiful though. It has thorns on the trunk, which could actually pinch you. The trunk, it's freshly cut. Again, that's why the front is freshly cut. I don't know how to prune it much, so that's why. And here is a windmill palm. Now this guy is way cold hardier than the Washingtonia, than the date palm, and the queen palm. This guy could actually have an actual chance of surviving a freeze. As long as it has some sort of protection, like anything, this guy could actually have a shot at surviving, just like the sable miner. And this guy's pushing out a beautiful frond. If you're wondering why it's all lime green, I cut out all like the dark green fronds. Normally I shouldn't do that, but they were looking all ugly and stuff, and they're like all bent brown, a little turning brown. So I just cut it all off, and I just left the new lime green growth. So looking beautiful right now. These guys have a hairy trunk compared to the other palms in this garden, and it's beautiful. Not that much of fibers on the leaves like compared to the other ones. Washingtonia has the most fibers here, and this sable has a lot of fibers too, but the Washingtonia has the most fibers on its leaves. The windmill doesn't have much fibers at all, maybe some, Or maybe, no, it doesn't have any fibers at all. And yeah, it's really cold hardy. So if you want to pick a cold hardy palm, then this one is your choice. Or if you want more of a curved leaf look, this one's really popular around here. You can normally find these guys around Galveston and stuff like that, or anywhere that people when there's a cold, these guys will definitely survive. These are really cold hardier. In fact, I think they're a little cold hardier than the windmill. But these guys are a really good choice if you want a cold hardy palm that could actually survive the winter. And this guy was, at first, when it was in a pot before we even planted it, it was doing terrible. It was about to die. It was overrooted. It didn't have any more fronds. I was losing fronds really fast. Everything was turning brown. And I planted it, and what do you know? Exploding with growth. It all happened during a month, I would say. And the trunk is green, leaves are green, everything looking beautiful, pushing out new growth, new fronds, new fibers, everything looking beautiful. Everything's getting bigger, cooler, and just wow. And yeah, it does have some fibers. Below it, we got a sago palm, also known as Cycas revolta. This is not really considered a palm, but some people say it is, or because it has palm in its name. But I still decided to add it to the garden just because it gives a tropical look. And it looks pretty cool and beautiful with the second row of leaves, one on the bottom and the other on the top. And beside it, we have an aloe vera. This guy's not cold hardy at all, but again, it adds a tropical beach vibe. Because if you don't know, they are very tropical. And as you know, cactuses are very tropical. Or I wouldn't say tropical, but they live in the deserts, and palms live in this desert, so it kind of matches the same vibe. So I still decided to add some, cactuses, or just one, or multiple. I don't know. I don't know if it's really considered one or multiple, but. And this is the whole tropical garden. So please comment down below if you guys love palms like me. Which is your favorite out of the garden? It would really help me out. And also say why it's your favorite. Just to see all y'all's opinions of why y'all like each palm. And yeah, personally, if you guys ask me, my favorite, the cold hardiest favorite would probably be the sable. And my regular palm, like non-cold hardy and just the regular tropical palm, would probably be the Washingtonia. I love the Washingtonia. It looks beautiful, but it is not the cold hardiest, sadly. But if this guy was the cold hardiest, then it would probably be the best palm ever. It's just everything is good about it. Its trunk, its leaves, its fibers. It's beautiful, lime green fronds, or dark green maybe. Everything is good about it. But that's really it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one.